What is a Roth IRA and why does your neighbor keep talking about it? This is the Retirement Cheat Code, and I'm JD White. Today, we're going to cover exactly what a Roth IRA is, some of the rules and limitations around it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something from it. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you haven't already watched the video called What Are After Tax Accounts, go back and check that out. It's going to give you some high level information about today, about Roth IRA and Roth accounts in general, and some of the other after tax accounts. I'll go ahead and drop the link down in the description for you. So IRA stands for Individual Retirement Account, meaning one person, not two, not three. There is no joint IRA or joint retirement account. Sometimes you will hear that term thrown around with some products out there, typically insurance products. It's not a real thing. So, anyway, the Roth IRA was started in 1997. It was named after Senator William Roth. The idea behind the Roth is that you can contribute after tax dollars to this account. And then down the road, if you make a what we call a qualified withdrawal, that money can all come out tax free. Now, in order to contribute to a Roth IRA, much like a traditional IRA, you need to have earned income. So if you're retired or unemployed and don't have that earned income, even though you might have Social Security or a pension, you cannot make a contribution to a Roth IRA. However, you can do what we call Roth conversions. So you can take some of your traditional IRA and convert it to Roth. And when you do that, you pay the taxes as if it were taxable income on the traditional IRA and move as much or as little as you want over to your Roth IRA. The IRS is happy, they're collecting their taxes. You just have to be careful and work with a professional to make sure that you're not messing up your tax bracket. If you're also over the age of 65, you want to be careful with Medicare and Social Security. So there's a lot of things you got to consider around that. We'll cover that in another video. But for today, just know that you have to have earned income to contribute to a Roth IRA, but you can get money in there by way of a Roth conversion. In order for a withdrawal or a distribution from a Roth IRA to be considered qualified or not taxed or penalized, you have to meet some certain rules. The first rule that you need to think about is that there is a 5-year shot clock on your Roth IRA. Now, this is an aggregate shot clock. So if you open multiple Roth IRAs or transfer, as long as you have that first one open, the 5-year clock has started. So we encourage people to open a Roth IRA as soon as they can and fund it, assuming they can. The biggest rule that we tend to think about with qualified withdrawals is 59 and a half. Once you hit the age of 59 and a half and you've held it for 5 years, any money you pull out can be taken out without owing any taxes. That's a great thing. Now, the principal, the money you contribute to your Roth IRA, can always be pulled out without paying taxes. And with a Roth IRA, that money comes out first. So when you take a withdrawal from a Roth IRA and you're not 59 and a half or you don't meet the qualifications, you can still pull that money out and you're not going to get taxed on it. Where we have to worry about taxes and penalties is on the growth of the IRA. So for the growth portion of your Roth IRA, if you're age 59 and a half but haven't met those 5 years, that 5-year shot clock, you can still pull the funds out. You're not going to pay a 10% penalty on it, but you are going to be taxed on that money as if it were income. And again, that's just on the growth. If you're under 59 and a half and haven't met that 5-year shot clock, there's some ways that you can get some of the money out without paying penalty on it. So you're able to pull out $10,000 for a first-time home purchase. Now, there's some wiggle room there too for potentially a second home. That's a whole nother thing with a CPA. You can use the funds to pay for qualified education expenses. So that's a good one to know about. You're able to cover up to $1,000 of certain emergency expenses. That's part of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. You can use some expenses for some birth or adoption expenses. If you become disabled or pass away, that money can come out tax free. Obviously, if you pass away, it would be someone else getting that money out. So there's a few ways that you can get money out of the growth portion, even if you haven't met 59 and a half or that 5 year shot clock without paying penalty on it. You're still going to pay income taxes on the growth piece of that withdrawal. And you'll notice there's a lot of rules with the Roth IRA. Of course, these are very tax favored accounts. And so the IRS has a lot of rules around them. There is another 5 year shot clock. So when you do what we call a Roth conversion, we're moving money from traditional IRA to Roth IRA, as I mentioned earlier. There's actually a 5 year clock on each one of those that you perform. And it's the same rules as above. That 5 year clock has all the same qualifications around it, except that the shot clock is on each conversion that you perform. Once you meet that 5 year, you're good to go. So 59 and a half, 5 year are kind of our two big ones. That's going to apply to Roth contributions and conversions. So we try and get things started as early as we can, but you can convert at any time. Even if you don't have earned income and you're in retirement, you can still do it. And then lastly, we have to talk about the limits. So it's the same as a traditional IRA or IRA. They are combined maximums per year. And again, you have to have earned income, but you can contribute for 2025 up to $7,000. If you're under the age of 50, you can go up to $8,000 if you're over the age of 50. And there are income limitations. So if your modified adjusted gross income for a married filing jointly couple is between $236,000 and $246,000, that amount that you can put in is going to be phased out. And then once you cross over $246,000, you're no longer able to contribute. And that's for spousal too. If you are a single filer, it phases out from $150,000 to $165,000 modified adjusted gross income. So once you cross over $165,000, you can no longer contribute to the Roth IRA. And again, if you're right on that upper end, you're not going to be able to put much in. So if you're at $164,000 as a single filer, you're not going to be able to put a whole lot of money into your Roth IRA as a contribution. If you're married filing separately, which we do have a few out there, and I think it's important to mention, they actually phase it out at $10,000 of modified adjusted gross income for both spouses. So if you're married filing separately and you make over $10,000, neither one of you can contribute to a Roth IRA. So obviously the IRS has some red flags there with married filing separately that they don't like for Roth IRA contributions. So in a nutshell, that's the Roth IRA. I really appreciate your time for watching these videos with me. If you enjoyed this one on the Roth IRA, please go ahead and click that thumbs up button for me. Lets me know that you like these. And as I always mention, the best way to support me is click that subscribe button for me. I hope you're really enjoying these. Please don't forget that you can share these with people that you think might benefit from these. And we'll catch you on the next one.